thing in blogging, and that is tagging the images and creating associated portfolios or like a full gallery. So I'm going to show you those two parts in this last segment of blogging here. So when you have finished your blog post, I've got one here that we're going to use as a sample. You know, you can tag any images for searching in your gallery. So that's where people can search, rustic bouquets and natural wedding gowns, shoes, whatever you label it as. And you really control how little or how much searching you build on your site and what elements are searched. Images will not appear in your galleries unless you tag them and you set it to go into the gallery. So those are two things. So if you have a blog post where you're just, giving tips or wedding timelines, obviously you're not going to have images that you want to pull in the galleries. Or maybe you have a blog post that's just maybe not as high level or as luxurious or something that you want. You don't have to put it in your galleries. And obviously within your blog post, not every image, an image like this or her getting her shoe on isn't necessarily something that I want to put in the blog into my galleries for searching, but I might want to tag the bridesmaid dresses here or the groomsmen or the beautiful mountain views. So you really control that. You don't have to put every image in. Only the ones that are tagged with anything will go into the galleries for searching, and only if you turn that on to yes will it do that as well. So if you want to tag a post, we're going to go, this cute little dog here. I'm just going to make stuff. They're not necessarily going to be accurate. But all you do is click the tag, and it pulls up everything you've already preset. So all you need to do is click off what you want it to be here. And that if I click pink and light purple, that's what's going to be searched. Forest, mountains, whatever I click off is what becomes the key things that this image will search on. So all I do is check those off and click save when I'm done. I want to just go over a couple other things there because I always get asked about it. If you click on this tag, it also pulls up your meta alt attribute and meta title attribute. And meta alt attribute, the example right here is like red velvet cake. Meta title attribute is like click here to read more. So if this image showed up in Google Images, this is the titles and that would show up with it. That is what it's used for. You don't need to fill it in for SEO purposes. All your SEO is built out already on the site through the other key things I showed you in blogging, like your title and short description, the links that we build in there as well for you, bringing in the categories and the cities. But this is here, meta alt attribute. A lot of you probably already know this, but you look at this little example, like red velvet cake. I could say dog as the, flower girl. And click here to view the image. Something like that is what I would put there. Just so you know, because I get asked about that a lot. So again, for tagging, all you're doing is clicking off whatever you want that image to be associated with for searching. I'm actually going to turn these off because I don't want this image to be associated with pink and light purple on my blog. So you're going to click save. Now when you're all done and you've gone through and you've tagged all the images you want, for searching in your blog post, before you go live, you're typically going to come to settings here anyways, because you need to turn this from draft to publish. And the other thing you want to do is make sure you go yes, add to galleries. So as soon as you do this, it creates a portfolio of images, is what we call it, an associated portfolio for your blog post. And it's going to pull all those images in, and so that we can pull them into the galleries for you, so that you have your images in your blog, and then you can have all the images you tagged in your galleries. It also does a second thing for you, and this is a little technical, but I know most of you understand completely. If you want to have a shorter blog post, and at the bottom of your blog post have something like View Full Gallery, where you can go in and have more images, it's creating that associated portfolio for you. As soon as you click this to yes, whatever images you've added into the system are also going to move into that associated portfolio. So what I like to do when I blog, I personally add all the images in that I want to be in my post, and then I trim them out as I start creating the collages and putting the images together. But everything I initially added will be added into that portfolio. And if I want to take a look at that portfolio, once I've turned it to yes, it's going to create that for me, and all I can go up here, I can go associated portfolio. and you will see all the images that are in. So if I click view full gallery, this is what they would see. They would see everything here. Even though I didn't include the picture of the snowshoes or the outside of the venue in my blog post, it's still in the full gallery for them. And so you can delete, if you have something in here you still don't want, you can delete it. Or if you want to add more images, if you prefer just to add the small amount of images you want to blog, you can do that. And then once you create your associated portfolio, you would just click plus and you would add in all the other images you want to be in that gallery. So again, this is creating all the images that, you know, when someone clicks view full gallery, it'll show everything. So you can have a smaller blog post that's more targeted, and then you can have a larger portfolio here of images. And you can, even if they're not in your blog post, you can still tag them to pull into your galleries for searching as well. So we'll go back there. And if you're here, it looks a little different because you're in this portfolio now. All you need to do is go associated blog post, and it takes you back to the blog post you were in. So quickly to review, to tag images, you click the tag and you click off whatever you want it to be set for searching. And then you want to make sure that you, in settings, before this post goes live, that you also click yes, add this to the galleries, and that's also going to create an associated portfolio for you, which you can edit at any time under here, and that's where you can add more images so someone can see a shorter blog post and they can click at the bottom, view full gallery, and see more images that were attributed to that blog post and the photographer. And everything we talked about with sources, you know, applies here as well. So you can always add more sources if you need. You can tag more images here. You have delete. You can move them around in here if you want for your portfolio. And this one, if they're the wrong way, you can change them. I want to show you one other quick thing, just because we were talking about tagging images. We'll go back. So this list, you have total control over all these checkboxes and what you build out for searching. To do that, you quickly click on your everything to do with your blog. So it's in this one because we're blogging. We're going to go to the blog attributes. I click blog attributes and I can see the categories I've set up in my blog are style, location views, colors, details. So if I want to add something more to styles, I'm just going to click the cogwheel, and so you know when you mouse over them they change colors so you can see which one you're on. So I click styles. I can see that I have it set up as a list, which is the check boxes, that's what the list means, and I can come up here and go all items. And that's going to show me everything I have listed. Some sites you have images attributed to these because on your home page you're showing off these images. So here's where you would manage those images. But you can come in here, you can see I have vintage, you know, I could say, oh, you know what, I don't want actually wild, I'm going to delete that. I actually don't, so I'm going to delete that one. Or I could say, you know, I don't want simple, delete that, and I could say I would like to add one, and we're going to call it offbeat and just click save. So it's pretty simple. You have total control. Again, you go to all items so you can see everything. You have full control over how much searching, what is searched, and how you build that out on your site. So again, you can come to all items here. You can see all the styles I have, and if I want to add a new one, I just click the plus sign and type in what I want it to be called and hit save. And you can do that with your colors, with details, locations, whatever you would like, and you can manage all that here. And if you happen to have images that are attributed to these and are pulling in somewhere on your site based on the design, you would just click on it and you would add the image here and just upload your image into here that you want attributed to whatever it is, bokeh, natural, anything. And that covers everything with tagging and creating associated portfolios with your blog posts and all the images on your site.